What is overdosing on cocaine like? This is my experience overdosing on cocaine. I used to do 1 to 2 8 balls of coke a day. I was obsessed with this drug. And a lot of times you don't think that this is a drug that you can overdose on, and that is incorrect. You can actually overdose on cocaine, and people do die from the overdose. So this is what it's like when you overdose on this drug. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. What's up, guys? My name is Eric, and this is my experience of what it was like. I've overdosed on cocaine before. I've overdosed on cocaine probably a good handful of times. I was doing 1 to 2 8 balls of coke a day. A lot of times the cocaine was mixed with other things. Also, there was days I was doing more than just 2 8 balls of coke a day. And if you know anything about cocaine, 3.5 grams is an 8 ball. That's a lot. And this is something that I was constantly putting on my nose. I became so obsessed with it that literally for a couple of years of my life, it revolved around this drug, around this and around alcohol. So what is it like? A lot of times you don't realize, especially when it comes to coke, because it's a glamorized drug and that it's not going to hurt you, that it's a party drug, that the effects wear off in about 30 minutes, that you need to go do a little bit more. People can budget this drug. That's not me. That's not my brain. That's not how I am. When it comes to overdosing on this drug, what ends up happening is this. First off, your heart starts to beat extremely fast, extremely rapid, to the fact that you can feel it. You can almost feel the blood flowing through your system. Your heart is beating so hard. And with this increased heart rate, your body temperature goes up. You start sweating. And I remember being in hotel rooms just sweating down my face with the AC on. I could feel my heart almost coming out of my chest. Couldn't really catch my breath very well. It was like you're running a marathon. Your whole body would go numb. Like I couldn't feel my fingers. I couldn't feel my legs a whole lot. They just felt kind of wobbly, yet I'm still standing. And I would look at people I was around, and it was almost like their head, they almost looked like just cartoon characters. And I felt my head almost just like lifting off of my body. It was like, I felt like I was just floating away, and I was losing control of everything. And the worst part is when you do get to this point, as an addict, you don't stop. It's not like heroin where you literally end up passing out, your heart shuts down, and you have to get Narcan back to life. It's not like that at all. You are still pretty much coherent to a certain point. People do die from overdosing on cocaine. You can go into cardiac arrest. The thing is, though, it's not extremely common. So you think that this is a safe drug, that this is a drug that you can't almost get hurt from. And that's not the case, because this is mixed and cut with so many things. There was times that I was doing cocaine and it was a little bit bluish, a little bit purplish. And guess what? It was most likely cut with meth. People would mix whatever they can, because drug dealers are not your friends. Drug dealers, you are money to them. That's all they care about. You getting high, you coming back and buying more. So they're going to mix that with whatever they want to maximize their money. And the worst part is you are now starting to OD on this drug. Your whole body's starting to shut down. You're still coherent. And what does an addict's brain do? An addict brain is like, okay, let me just do more and power through this. And that's what I would try and do. And I would try and keep just drinking to almost power through, of like, oh, if I drink some, it's going to help me slow down and calm down a little bit. Also, at the time, I've taken other drugs such as like Cialis or Viagra or something like that, because let's face it, when we're an addict, you want to just hook up and you want to have sex all the time. Now your whole body is not working how it should be. Your blood flow is not working how it should be. You are not processing this drug like you should be. And I'm glad that I'm still here. I probably should have died a couple different times. I probably should have had a heart attack. And when I've went into the doctor to see what kind of long-term damage I've done to my system, the only big damage I've done is just into my sinuses and into my nose. And thankfully, when it comes to my circulation, when it comes to my heart, everything is in good order. I don't know how, and I don't know who's looking down upon me, but I'm very grateful for that. But it was so obsessive that even after you overdose, after you have this experience where you are literally, your body is just not working, your brain is floating away, you are starting to shut down, you just figure, hey, next time I just won't do as much. I'll have to slow it down a little bit. Maybe I'm partying a little too hard. And guess what? We wake up the next day and we do the same thing over again, and we don't really care. And that's the reality of addiction. And for anybody out there struggling with addiction, the only way I was able to get sober is I literally broke down, lost my shit one night in bed, and decided I didn't want to live this life anymore. And that was 7/25/17. I haven't touched the drug since. Now, do I still think about it? Absolutely. That's how much of an addict I am. I do have thoughts of this still. And I have thoughts of it on a daily basis, the little fleeting thoughts that just kind of fly through your brain. But you can get sober from it, and it does come into reaching out for help. Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a therapist, I'm none of that. I just share from my experiences to help anybody out there struggling, to let you know that you're not alone, to let you know what you're going through, it does get better. I'm diagnosed with ADHD, PTSD, GAD, MDD. Those are my official diagnoses. I have level 1 autism, I self-harmed before, I lost a wife and a father to suicide. I'm a recovering cocaine and alcoholic addict. And I have felt that if I share about all this stuff and I just share my testimony and what I've been through and how I got through it, maybe it'll help somebody out there, because the worst thing is to feel alone and to feel that you're going through life alone, and especially these struggles alone. So if you haven't followed the channel yet, hit the like and subscribe button, comment down below. I'd love to hear your story. I'd love to hear your experiences, because that's what it's all about when we're getting sober, is we thrive off of other experiences, knowing that we're not alone and knowing that we can get sober. So you got this. It's just one day at a time.